Crazies. Yes, y'all are back in the lab. Lee here, man. Y'all saw that title too as well. We are talking about 8 new Mandela Effects to blow your mind. That is right, 8 new Mandela Effects to make you question this reality we reside in. Please remember that some of these Mandela Effects might not be new to you, but they will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. As well, at any time you like this, man, y'all remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments down below so we can talk about these 8 and others so we can do on the next 8. How about that? So let's get these going. Let's do these 8 new Mandela Effects to blow your mind. And we're starting off with number 8. And I'm starting off with that great German food store, grocery store, Aldi's. That is right, Aldi's. Aldi's. I love that place. I actually have an Aldi's down the street. I actually went to Aldi's yesterday, to tell you the truth. Got me some food, got me stuff to stock up in my refrigerator, and I love this place. And the Mandela Effect has to do, once again, with that S, with the S, Aldi's. You heard me say Aldi's with an S, right? That's how you probably saying, that's how you thinking, yeah, Lee's always had an S, it's Aldi's. That's what it's supposed to be. Well, if I told you that you're wrong, would you want to believe me? You're probably like, damn it, Lee, you're right. It's stupid. They always take the S or throw the S's in this. And if you said Aldi's, you're wrong. Because in this reality, it never was Aldi's, never has been Aldi's. It's just been Aldi. Aldi. You see it right there. Aldi. Blows my mind because, like I said, I've been shopping at this store since they've been around. I remember even in Germany they had Aldi's, and I remember that too as well. I'm not trying to flip it around, but yet I had friends and coworkers that shopped at Aldi's. They loved Aldi's, and they were blown by this too. And I was like, man, you all remember it being Aldi's? They're like, yeah, well, it is Aldi. Always has been, always probably will be. But you know how the Mandela things does with these S's. So how do you remember Aldi? Do you always remember it being called Aldi the way it is now? Or are you like me and many of us Aldi people remember it being Aldi's with the S?
The most fun we have on the Gator is just ripping around the property.
It's a springtime tradition.
As much as we got going on,
I reckon we go rattle up some of this cattle, go feed them some hay, go grit some of this sheep, and go do what we got to do. But first, we got to go get that good old green and yellow tractor that we call a John Deere. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. John Deere is this next Mandela Effect for you. And if you are thinking to yourself, what possibly could be wrong with John Deere? It better not change colors. No, it's still green and yellow. But I'm talking about, how do you spell John Deere? As you see this right here pop up in front of your face, is that correct spelling of John Deere? Is that how you spell John Deere? Is that how it's always been spelled to you? Well, if you are saying, yeah, you're correct, Lee. It's always been spelled John Deere that way, D-E-E-R. Well, you're wrong, just like I am, just like everybody else who said that was the correct one, because it has never been spelled John Deere like that, D-E-E-R. It has always been spelled D-E-E-R-E. Blows me away. Now they're adding E's to the Mandela Effect, from S's to E's. It's crazy to me. I have never seen John Deere spelt that way. With that said too as well, as I looked up all the logos on the vents, it has always been spelt that way with the extra E on it. And it blows me away. But how do you remember John Deere being spelt? Do you always remember it being spelt the way I remember it? Millions of us remembered who used these good old green and yellow tractors and caterpillars and all the ATVs, you name it, spelt D-E-E-R. Or are you liking this reality and how it's always been spelt D-E-E-R-E?
And I roam the streets.
Well, if you haven't seen the new Wednesday show, check it out on Netflix, man. It is a wonderful show, let alone the boogie down that she does, man. This is awesome. And we actually are talking about Wednesday herself and her outfit. Now, in the older versions of the Addams Family, what color was her dress? Now, I'm going to let you think here for a minute. Let you do. There you go. You're thinking, yes, if you are saying it was blackly in this reality, it's always been black, huh? You're saying it's black? Yeah, well, guess what? You are wrong, ladies and gentlemen, just like I am wrong. It has never been black itself, because if y'all are the ones who said it had flowers on it, as you see right here, you are completely right. In this reality, this eternity, this freaking place of playing field that we live in, it has always had flowers on her dress. Yes, black flowers. It's so weird to me because I always remember the complete black dress. That's what it was. She was just black. They all wore pretty black, except, Gonza, he had the pinstripes, but it blows my mind. And I know you can look at the newer version too. She does have a black dress. It is a black dress, but she flip-flops in a little bit of them. But the older versions, I always remember a black dress, but that's not the case because it always has had the flowers on it. Even in the second one too, it has the flowers on it. It blows me away. But how do you remember Miss Wednesday from the Addams Family? Do you always remember the way it is now in this current reality, being black with the flowers all over it? Or are you like me and many of us Addams, remember it being all completely black? Yes, we are talking about MJ, my man MJ, the Mandela Effect, always his MJ. Always. Why did he do MJ like that? And we're talking about Michael Jackson, Come Together. Yes, Come Together. And, well, I don't want to give it away because I know you're singing the song to me. She's got hair to her knees. I don't want to. That's the verse you're about to hear. Tell me what you hear.
She's got hair down to his knees. Got to be to his knees.
Now, if you're like me, you heard she's got hair to his knees. Yes, down to his knees. What? If she's got hair down to his knees, what is going on? Unless she's on her knees, but we don't even talk about that. So I had to look up this. I had to look up the lyrics, and then look at the lyrics. It's fucking verse first. It's the verse for her. He's got hair to his knees. This blows me away because I do not remember this song being like this, the beginning of this song being like this. I always remembered it was about her at first because he was going to get her to come to her. He's talking about her because she's got the hair down to her knees. And it blows me away because this is not the song I remember. This is not how I remember that song being in the beginning of it. It was never he. It almost looks like the whole damn song's about he and not she anymore, and that blows me away too. But y'all let me know what you think about Come Together, Michael Jackson. Was it always the way it is now with the he, with the she's got hair down to his knees? Or do you remember it like I do, a whole total different effing way?
Hill puts it on the floor and stops and he brought it down. He brought the whole goal down.
For the first pick of the 1992 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic choose Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq said it all, the no said it all. Yes, and we're talking about Shaq. Yes, and this actually comes from good old Mandela Effect 22. I saw this on his channel. Go show him some love. And he's talking about the last name of Shaq. Now, I'm going to show you his name, and here you go. Do you always remember O'Neal being spelled that way? O-N-E-A-L. Do you always remember it being spelled that way? If you are saying yes, well, guess what? You're correct, because in this reality, this day and age, his name has always been spelled that way. But in my reality, his reality, and many other realities, it has always been spelled O-N-E-I-L-L. And that's exactly how I remember it, because I loved Shaq back in the day, man. I remember I lived in Germany. I remember when he got drafted, I had his shoes, I had his jersey. I mean, I'm talking about old school, and it's time, man, it blows me away. But how do y'all remember this name being spelt? Because there is evidence of this being spelt with the I and the L, as you see right there. Also right there too as well, I and the L. I never remember it just being Neil with the good old N-E-A-L. But it always has been and always will be. But what do you remember? Do you always remember this? Or do you remember this? Let me know.
You do that one more time and I'm gonna throw you across the room.
Knock the mama, knock the mama, knock the mama. Oh, I love this TV show. This was great for the 4 seasons it ran back in the day. The good old dinosaurs. And yes, we're not talking about the fake muscles ones they made back there in our realities that don't exist. I'm talking about Dinosaurs, a television show. And actually, I'm talking about the ending of this series. How did the ending end? Now, in this reality, this day and age, The way the show ended is basically a winter storm, an ice age. There was no more food, nothing left. And they were all bundled up in a little, in their own little home. And that is how it ended. And that's how a lot of people remember it ending. But there are many of us, just like myself, remember it ending a completely different way. I remember it ending basically where they were being extinct, where the asteroid was hitting in and they were being extinct, and it blew up and all the way. And that's exactly how I remember the end of dinosaurs. And it's not there. It never happened. It blows me away because that's how I remember it. It was part of the whole evolution things, and that's exactly how they destroyed, the dinosaurs for the show, because they didn't get put on and stuff. But never happened. It was an ice age out of all things in the world, and maybe this Mandela Effect's trying to tell us that maybe we're going to be the next ice age. But how do you remember this television show ending and how its dramatic end happened? Do you always remember it being an ice age with all the food running out and them bundled up in a home? Or do you remember them just being at home waiting for the asteroid to hit them? Don't need money, don't need fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. And I'm talking about Back to the Future, that is right. If you saw the live yesterday, we did talk about a couple Back to the Future Mandela Effects, and actually here is one of them for you. In the beginning of the original Back to the Future, yes, when Marty McFly walks into Doc's workshop, all the clocks are going off, he goes over to the big speaker like you saw in the beginning of it, he clicks it in, he's about to plug in into the guitar, but what color was that guitar? Huh? Think about it. If you are saying, Lee, it is yellow. Well, yes, you are correct in this universe. It is a yellow guitar in this universe. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. It has always been a yellow guitar. You're correctly correct. But what if I told you that even you are wrong and correct, because in my reality and many other people's realities, we always remember that guitar being red. That is correct. A little red guitar, not the yellow one, but the red one you see right there. That is correct. The red guitar. Now, before y'all come at me out there, I am not talking about the guitar at the end where he's playing Earth Angel and Johnny Be Good. That is a whole total different style of guitar. I'm talking about the one in the beginning. As you see, the new acoustics, it was red in my reality, but it is not the case, because in this reality, it is yellow. It always has been yellow, and it blows my little mind away because it's just red. Red is the theme. Red is the color. And red should just be the book, right? But how do you remember it all, man? How do you remember this Back to the Future Mandela Effect? Do you always remember it being yellow the way it is now? Or are you like me and many of us always remember it being red?
There, now. Isn't this a clever disguise?
I'm just a little black rain cloud hovering above the honey tree. Yes, we are talking about Winnie Pooh, the one and great only no pants wearing bear himself, Winnie the Pooh, and we are talking about his balloon. Yes, the balloon that Christopher Robin gave to Winnie the Pooh just to get above the honey tree so he can get some honey. What color was Winnie the Pooh's balloon, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, what color was his balloon? If you are saying it was red, as you see right there, you're correct. You are correct, because guess what? In my reality, it was red too. In many people's reality, it was a red balloon that had him hovering above the honey tree himself when he was playing with the little bee. But I said my reality and their realities. I didn't say this reality, because in this reality, it was never a red balloon that Christopher Robin gave to Pooh. No, not indeed. It was a blue balloon. What? A blue balloon? That's just stupidly, but you're watching it right now. It was always and always has been a blue balloon. That is correct. But Lee, where did you get the red balloon pictures from? Man, that's what I said too, but as I looked at the pictures that are from this cartoon, this show, this part, it was always a blue balloon and got the reds there. But what do you remember out of it all? Do you always remember Winnie the Pooh's balloon being blue the way you see it right there, right now? Or do you remember it like I remember it, and millions of us in our own universes remember it being a red balloon? Whew, that was a tough 8 Mandela Effects to get through, blowing minds all the way through. Even me, my mind going through it. Blows me when I do these two as well because it is amazing. Big shout out to Thriller Big Productions, man, for the great Winnie the Pooh one, because that one really blew my mind. And it's just out. Shout out to y'all because y'all are amazing. Y'all are wonderful like you always do. If you enjoyed it at any time, y'all remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments about these and yours so we can talk about them. As well as y'all remember to keep your mind open because those eyes will definitely see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
Hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.